What's up, guys? I got the keys here. So I just wanted to make this video because I had this um, conversation with my sister after work today, and she was basically, saying how people are coming after her for, how she's trying to live her life, um, and stuff like that. Um, and what I recognize is a lot of judgment, and ultimately, I was basically telling her, like, these people are just reflecting to you how they actually feel about themselves, right? Um, and I was like, that judgment that's coming from them, they're not in your shoes and they don't understand how your life is going for you, right? They're not feeling your emotions. They're not feeling, um, they're not going through what you're going through. And so they try to project onto you how they think you should do it, or um like, what's the best. They basically tell you that you're wrong and that your way isn't right. And this is something that we have to learn on the spiritual journey too, because it's like everybody wants to tell somebody else how to live, right? But they're not living themselves, right? It's like they have this, like, controlling type of attitude where it's like, oh, that's not, you can't do that, that's not right, that's not, like, but there is no right or wrong, right? It's all based off of how that person lives their life, how they feel, how their beliefs are, how you know what I mean? So it's like there's way too much judgment from other human beings. God does not judge. So I basically said to her, I was like, take a step back. I was like, take a look at this from a different angle, right? I was like, they're not in your position. I was like, move on. I was like, don't let these other people's words affect you, because, um, she was basically crying from this. And I'm like, it's not worth being upset over how other people feel about you. How do you feel about you? Right. And I said, the most important person is you. And, so it was like helping her realize who she is, right? And that she has the power to change that dynamic in any moment. And after we hung up the phone, she was like, I'm glad I called you, and, like, I feel a lot better after I talked to you. And I said, well, that's because I'm accepting you as you are. And I'm also not judging you, right? I said that I know how you feel because I've been in a similar position to yours. It may not be exactly the same, but I understand where you're coming from. And I also put myself in your shoes instead of looking at it from just myself, right? Um, and, like, this is the problem with a lot of people, is they think they're being empathetic, but really what they're doing is judging, right? They're not having the correct discernment on how they should talk to somebody, because when somebody comes to talk to you, you're not meant to just reply. You're meant to sit there and listen, right? You're meant to sit there and listen to what they have to say. What Like, okay, so, like, you're sitting there listening and listening and listening, and then when they stop talking, then you can come up with your reply, right? It's like, okay, now I have all the information. Now I can adjust to that and bring in the highest thought for that person at that moment, right? And that's what I said to her. I was like, this isn't coming from me. This is coming from God, right? This is coming from love, because that's who I am, right? And in that moment, I felt so much joy in myself, because I love helping people, guys, like, to no end. It's like, I'm even still shaking right now because I feel so good about what I just, how I helped her. And ultimately, I'm helping myself, right? It's like, because I see God in her. I see God in every person. I see God in every plant. I see God in the sun. I see God in the moon. I see God in the earth. I see God everywhere, because God is everywhere. And So like what I'm trying to get to is like, don't let other people's views on how you should do things affect you, right? Because, and I know, like I said, this is easier said than done, but the more that you come into your divinity and realize your power and who you are, these people aren't even going to worry you anymore. You're just going to move right past them and be like, well, I'm living my life according to how God is telling me, right? I'm living to how I feel is best for me in this moment, right? You are the creator of your life. You make the decisions. You make the choices. You are it. Okay? So release judgment. And this comes from you too. You need to release the judgment of yourself, right? Because God isn't judging you. You are judging you, right? Your ego is judging you. That's what's judging you. And when we let ego play into the game, well, then we're moving into lower timelines, right? You want to stay in the highest self you can at all moments. And that's not always going to happen. You're obviously going to be in your ego every once in a while. But it's about searching to be in the highest self at all moments. And so for me, this was another, every time somebody talks to me and I have a legitimate conversation with them, they always say, oh, like, I feel so much better now. Or like, well, that's because I helped you to see past the illusions, right? And to realize that you have the choice to move past those. And ultimately, I'm showing you that I am you, right? So me talking to her was actually her talking to herself, right? She's taking in the words, but she's also understanding them, understanding them, overstanding them. And it also was coming from a place of love, so it was easy for her to digest, right? It's not like pushing this on her and that she has to be this way or whatever, but like just learning, right? It's just a learning curve. And life is just, it's so cool. And like this week has been super crazy energy wise, and like I'm loving it, but it's just like I was just trying to remind her of her power, right? Who she is. And I said you have nothing to worry about. And I said, I know that, like, in the moment there's a lot to worry about, but in reality everything always works out for the highest timeline, right? It's like we think things have to go a certain way, or people have to treat us a certain way, or whatever, but that's not true. People have their own minds, their own universe. They have their own beliefs and traumas and everything else. And it's like, you just have to be you. And that's all that really matters, is you being within yourself and doing everything that makes you feel good, everything that makes you feel your highest joy, right? It's like, we don't need to stress ourselves out with other people's opinions and, how they feel about us and this, that, and the other thing. Because you know what? People come and go. And the only one that's ever going to be here for you is you. Okay? So let these judgments go, and, do the affirmations too. It's like, I release these people now, and I understand why they're acting the way they're acting. But I release them, I release their judgments, I release all the doubts and fears within my mind that they've created. I release any pain, trauma, any of this. And it's like, just reaffirm it to yourself that you are powerful, you are a creator, and that you have the conscious choice to be the best you in every moment, and that you know exactly what's right for you, right? Um, Ultimately, it's just remembering who you are. Okay. So with that being said, I just want to make this quick video, and because it it came to me to just make this right now, as soon as I walked in the door from work. And yeah, guys, release the judgment. Don't let people bring you down to their level. And you know, like you're better than that. And like they are too. And that's the thing, is they're not choosing to be, you know, in the highest self. They're choosing to judge you and tell you that this is wrong or this is right, and that you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. But they're making decisions that they probably shouldn't be doing either, and you're not telling them not to do it. So you see what I'm saying? It's like you're a being of love, and you can come from that love at any time, right? So having the unconditional love, and understanding that that person is the way they are because of the way they were raised, the way that they, um, the people that surround them, the environment that they're in, right? So just learn to um, have unconditional love, right? It's like I see you for who you really are, and I understand that you're a piece of me. But I don't agree with, you know, how you see the world in this moment, and that's okay, right? You don't have to put up with people, right? You have the choice. So, with that being said, I love you guys, and I hope you got an inspiring message from this. I'm grateful for everything that has happened within this YouTube channel already. Um, I haven't been doing this that long, but it feels like I've been doing it forever. And I'm just like super grateful to be in this moment of, you know, pure love, pure source, and to be able to express myself and to bring my message to other people so that I can help them too. And that's all I wish for any of you, you know. So my intention is always just to bring you pure love, just to bring peace of mind, to you know, release any anything that tells you that you can't, right? So I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.